This is me before ever reading Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King and Bilquis Evely, my first ever DC comic and reading vlog. There's only 8 issues in this run, so I'm gonna check in every 2 to 3 issues with my live thoughts and reactions. So I'm not gonna lie, I know next to nothing about DC Comics. And I mean, we're talking zero, squat, zilch, a big old goose egg, let alone anything about Supergirl. Except these 3 things. Supergirl's name, I know her name, that is it. Her name is Kara or Kara? Probably Kara Zor-El. That's literally it. That's all I know about her. She's like Superman's brother, or not, no. Superman's sister or cousin, something along those lines. I think they're family. That's literally all I know. Number 2, this story is a certified banger. How do I know that? A lot of people have talked about it. It's got pretty good ratings on League of Comic Geeks, and it was nominated for an Eisner for Best Limited Series. And number 3, it's the basis for the upcoming movie, Supergirl, which is gonna be out in a couple weeks. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to know a little bit more about the character Supergirl before I go and see that movie. And honestly, here comes the Catholic guilt. Why I really bought this was because I was making an order online and I needed like $5 more for free shipping, and this is only 10 bucks. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as I'm like setting this up and getting ready, there's a bee in here. We gotta take care of that. This is gonna be fun. There it is. Found it in there. Oh, that is a wasp. That's not even a bee, that's a wasp. First and foremost, that bee situation has been taken care of, so no risk of being stung. And after I recorded that intro, I realized that this is not the first DC comic I've ever read. I have read the first 6 issues of Absolute Martian Manhunter, and I even made a video about it over here. Just completely forgot about it because clearly all I really read is mainly Marvel. And I felt bad about lying about that. So anyway, let's break into this. I'm just kidding, I really wasn't reading that. I'll check in live when something strikes me. All right, we are 1 issue in. I don't have my bookmark. This was a really good first issue. Like, I'm intrigued and I just wanna be able to keep reading more right now. And I know I said I'd check in every like 2 or 3 issues, but I figure after the first one, get my thoughts on this right now. We meet this girl, Ruth, or Ruthie, I guess. They're talking very like Old English, or like very much like gods would, you know what I mean? They're on a different planet. They're very refined. It reminds me very much of like someone writing for Thor, and kind of like the way that he speaks sometimes, like Asgardian, and it kind of is just like, sometimes for me it's a little too much. I'm like, can we just talk kind of like modern-ish? And this whole issue so far is being told from the perspective of Ruth. Her dad has just been killed, and now she's going to get vengeance against this person, Krem, who killed her dad. None of her brothers seem to care, and her mom definitely doesn't seem to care. And Ruth is like on her last leg trying to beg and plead to Supergirl, and she's trying to say like, you don't understand, I lost my dad. You don't know what it's like to lose everything that you love. And now I'm learning more about Supergirl because we're starting to learn that her entire planet, or maybe just the people on her planet, everyone that she loved, was turned to dust. Again, I still don't really know what happened there. As we're learning that, out of nowhere comes an arrow. Like, what? An arrow right into Supergirl's chest. And it was Krem. And the person who helped find them was this guy. The guy that slapped Ruthie, that Supergirl kind of like beat up essentially. And now I'm like, holy crap, I need to know what happens next. I want to keep reading, but I have real life to attend to. Issues 2 through 4 down, halfway through. In issue 2, we have Ruthie and Supergirl traveling space via basically what is like a space bus, for a lack of a better term. It's very quite large. What I really like about this issue in particular is that we get to see kind of a little bit more about Supergirl and how she really puts everyone else before herself. And we really see that at the end of the issue, as Ruthie's pretty much recalling that after Supergirl, Ruthie got hurt, as well as Krypto. Supergirl picked them both up, even though she was bleeding, got in a boat, rowed all the way to somewhere, who knows, to help them get fixed. She insisted at the like mender, the person who's helping them kind of get better, that Krypto and Ruthie both get treated first before she does. Also, at the end of issue 2, gosh, we've got a live reaction for that. Supposedly those arrows that Krem shot them with were dipped in poison. And so the mender can't really help Krypto because he needs the like mixture of the original poison to kind of, I guess, create an antidote. So he said that the dog is most likely not going to make it. And we haven't seen Krypto at all in issue 2. He can't be dead, right? He can't be dead. There's no way. And then issue 3 really focuses on Supergirl and Ruthie stopping on this planet called Maypole. Everyone is kind of rude to Supergirl. You know, some of the things we learned are essentially that, well, I learned personally, is that Supergirl is not Superman's brother. They are cousins. And that supposedly Supergirl destroyed her planet, which I feel is taken out of context and probably not the truth. It's just now proposed that way. So I am now left wondering what she did to her planet. Although my guess is that she didn't actually do it. Like something happened, I don't know. My guess is that she didn't destroy her planet on purpose, of course. But in this issue, we learn there's like this blue and purple and everyone is kind of blue and no one's like purple. Eventually, Supergirl finds out that purple is not the thing or the person that you want to be. And you're kind of like curious as to what that is and why. And man, this is disheartening. And talk about like real world translation to like really racism, essentially. And the blue people are more, I guess, wealthy and well off and all of these other things. And basically they relegated all the purple people to a specific portion of their planet. Essentially, we come across them and they're all essentially dead. And that is because we learned of this like genocidal group. Basically, I would consider them pirates, essentially, that like to commit genocide. Well, Krem was on that planet and he was a prisoner. And it sounds like he struck a deal with the blue people to let him join the brigands. I guess they saved all the blue people and slaughtered all of the purple people. That was rough. And then finishing up issue 4, they've gone to multiple planets. And I gotta just say, Supergirl is a saint. She is the Mother Teresa of superheroes at this point. We come across a planet where, again, a huge genocide from brigands, and there's this person like digging a mass grave site, and she's like, let me help, let me be a good neighbor. Talk about a good life lesson right there. And she like obviously digs them all super fast and even said like, I've scanned your DNA, I found your daughter. If you want me to bring you to her grave site so that you can kind of visit it and see it whenever you're ready, I can do that for you. Like, what? Then they go to another planet where another person had also come back and found that, again, their planet has basically been, you know, destroyed, for a lack of a better term. Supergirl like acts as a therapist for her to like bring out all of her like grief and anger and sadness and all of this stuff. There's this revelation via Ruthie that like Supergirl, she kind of says that Supergirl is just living with all of this pain and sadness. And if you asked her though, that she would say that she's just doing fine. And I think this goes to like a deeper maybe theme, or at least meaning, at least for this issue, of like, you never know what someone is experiencing, even though that they may be the most happiest person in the world. You have no idea deep down inside what they're dealing with. We've made it into further issues. It's been alluded to in issue 3, and definitely in issue 4. It sounds like Krypto is still alive. He's not doing great, but he's still alive. So there's that. He's not dead, thank goodness. All right, we're doing a quick check-in after issues 5 and 6. And really these 2 issues were, what I got the most out of them was really learning a lot more about Supergirl. It's been a while, but we've been tracking Krem, right? And we finally get to see him again in issue 5. And he uses this bubble globe thing that is magic apparently. And it sends Ruthie and Supergirl somewhere really far away, basically teleports them somewhere far. And what I learned there is that Supergirl cannot withstand a green sun. Now, I don't know if it was basically kryptonite for her. I don't know if green suns are kryptonite or just is a kryptonite for her, which obviously drains her powers. What was interesting though, by the end and after the sun went down, obviously she was drained of her powers, but it didn't take long for them to come back. Like pretty much immediately, as soon as the sun set beneath the horizon, she was like punched this huge dinosaur in the face. Her powers come back pretty quickly, which I thought was interesting, given the fact that she was like drained of her powers for like 9 hours. I would have thought it maybe would have taken a little bit longer to come back. I don't know. I'll roll with it. It's comics, it's superheroes, I like it, it doesn't matter. But like issue 6, again, Supergirl's origin, or like, let's just say what drives her driving factor. And it was like back in issue 2 or 3 or something along those lines where it was alluded to that Supergirl destroyed her planet. And I was like, I don't think that's what actually happened. And Ruth, who's narrating the story, right? She was like, you've probably heard this before. And I was like, Ruth, I haven't heard it before. So I cannot wait to read this. Thank you very much. So good. Like, I ended that issue, I was like, that was good. Also, I think the other thing that like made it really good, not that the art's been bad, but my goodness, literally banger after banger from Bilquis Evely. One right here, this splash page, look at that. So good. Just Krypton completely destroyed, and like Supergirl is just like trying to reckon with what's happening. Look at this 2-spread page. Look at that. And then I'm pretty sure the next page right away, look at these 2 splash pages back to back. It's definitely a different style, but I'd almost put this on tier with Jack Kirby space drawings, and he is like, his space drawings are something else, bro. Look at this. That is so good. What? We've got 2 more issues. We are done. It is finished. It's a little early here. I'm still finishing up my coffee, so. What did you think of the book, Nigel? Sorry, did I interrupt you? I really enjoyed this. Issue 7 was, I really like the lead up to this. At this point, like, we've been chasing Krem. We finally are there. We have him. We have taken him as prisoner. But now Ruthie is left on an island to watch after him, and Comet, the horse, is there to watch after Ruthie to make sure she doesn't kill him, of course, right? One, I can just see it, and I can see it happening. Y'all, Ruthie's here on this island, basically. Krem of the Yellow Hills is tied up. All I'm imagining right now is that something terrible is gonna happen, because Ruthie has just taken Krem of the Yellow Hills gag out, and I'm like, something's gonna happen. She's gonna let him loose somehow, or he's gonna kind of wiggle his way out. Oh boy, I just am like, no. And sure enough, get to the end. I mean, Ruthie did some really good, some butt kicking. She just like did some damage to Krem, which was nice to see. But I was right that Ruthie was going to be able to kill Krem. She had the opportunity and she just couldn't do it. And Ruthie goes, "Have you ever lied to a horse?" And she's like pulling out her sword, and I'm just like, yes. Let's go, Ruthie. Let's kill him. But I still have a feeling that she's not going to. Something's gonna happen. I think that the guilt of killing him and being a disappointment to Supergirl is what's going to stop her. But it wasn't the guilt that stopped her from killing him. It was the fact that she had learned good from evil. Also, by the way, Supergirl just lied about Krypto. That whole time, Supergirl, that whole time you were hurting my heart about Krypto being poisoned and that he's on the brink of death. Meanwhile, he's been fine this entire time. You lied to us and to Ruthie to teach her good from evil. I do not appreciate that, Supergirl. I do not appreciate that. I do think that that's like what is really good about Supergirl. She's flawed, right? Like, she was almost ready to give up hope, but like, we look to her for hope and for that like good in people, and that people can be better, and that we can find the good in everything. But I like the fact that we went against the typical trope of the good people forgiving the bad person and finding forgiveness in their heart and all this other stuff, where that's usually the thing, right? Where it's like the good people have to forgive them because the bad people figured it out, or like are feeling bad. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to forgive someone. Really good story. You can only do half stars on League of Comic Geeks. I think I rated every single issue in this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I'm gonna give the whole trade that 4.5 out of 5. I would almost say that it is like 4.75 out of 5 stars. This was a really good book. I could see why it was nominated for an Eisner. The other thing that, like, the art in it by Bilquis Evely was really great. I'm really curious to know what it looks like on like a standard kind of trade paperback or like comic issues, where you get more of like that glossy page, kind of maybe the colors pop a little bit more. But I really do like this kind of like page style, and I still thought that the art came across great. I'm just curious to know what it maybe looks like in glossy, like a glossy form. If you have not read this, highly recommend. We're gonna end it here. If you have other suggestions for me to read, like Supergirl, DC wise, I did buy 2 more DC comics. You could probably see which ones those are in a video over here or over here maybe. But I'm taking suggestions. If you have a suggestion for me to read that I probably never read, which would definitely be DC, let me know down below in the comments. If there's something else you want me to read or do a reading vlog about, let me know. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. And if not for me, hit subscribe for Nigel and get more Nigel action. I think he would appreciate it. Until the next video, peace.